Winning with Google Ads should be your ultimate goal this year in 2024 if you really want to scale your e-commerce brand to the next level. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to win with Google Ads in 2024 and scale profitably so that you can do numbers like these brands are doing right here, where they're spending roughly $50,000 to $60,000 a month and generating a 7.30x ROAS to generate almost $500,000 per month just from Google. Or maybe brands like these where the spend is not that high, roughly $15,000 to $20,000 a month, but still the ROAS is way above par at a 9.30x and generating over 6 figures per month. Or maybe you run a brand with a low AOV and you want to spend more money. So you want to spend roughly $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a month, but you want to generate almost $200,000 a month. Before we actually cover how to win with Google Ads in 2024, let's first take a step back and understand what winning even means with Google Ads. I like to break this down into 3 separate things. The first thing that I consider that if you're doing this, you're winning with Google is you're getting consistent sales and with profitable revenue from Google Ads. I truly believe that this should be your #1 goal, to get consistency not only in terms of revenue every single day, but also in terms of profitability. Number 2, your revenue should also be growing. No e-commerce brand out there will come onto Google just to be stagnant or just to do the same exact numbers as they were doing on Facebook or TikTok. If your brand is growing, then you're successful with Google Ads. But this brings me to the third thing, which determines if you're successful or not, which is you're properly testing and scaling all of your products. The beauty with Google Ads is it gives you the ability to aggressively test almost every single one of your products thoroughly, so you can know exactly what's working within your brand and exactly what's not working. And you want to take full advantage of this. I can't tell you how many times I found a winning and best-selling product with Google Ads because my ad strategy was right, because the way we were approaching the testing side of things was different than what we were doing with scaling. And as a result, every single one of the products was getting ad spend. We were able to also scale these products via Facebook, TikTok, and really massively grow these brands. Now that brings us to the main juice of the video. How do you win with Google Ads in 2024? The things we're gonna cover include things like the foundation, which is #1, #2, which is ad strategy. This is followed by consistency, which is keeping these results consistent, which is the third and final thing. Because yes, winning with Google Ads is really only a 3-step process in 2024. You don't wanna overcomplicate it because it's not that complicated. The first step, however, is one of the most complicated ones, and this has to do with your foundation. Now, what makes up the foundation is fairly simple things such as the conversion tracking, such as the landing page layout and how optimized your landing pages or how good your backend funnel is. If you don't have the proper email marketing in place, if you don't have proper SMS marketing or retargeting across multiple different platforms, well, whatever traffic Google is driving to your brand, it's going to be leaking throughout the funnel. Think of this like a bucket with a bunch of holes in it. No matter how much water you put in this bucket, it's gonna keep leaking out of these holes. But one of the most kind of hidden threats to your Google Ads results is actually these other ad platforms you're using, like Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, etc. If you don't have these other ad accounts set up properly, if their conversion tracking is not set up properly, they're going to start trying to steal the attribution of the sale for themselves. So for instance, if somebody goes on your website through Facebook ad, but then they don't purchase through your Facebook ad, but later on they see your ad via Google Shopping because they were doing research on a specific product they wanted to buy and your ad came up, and then they ultimately end up buying from Google Shopping, you want things to be set up properly with a very strong foundation so the algorithm itself knows that this sale did not happen from Facebook, it only partially helped you with it because ultimately they made the sale via Google Shopping. Along with these things, what also makes up the foundation is your product feed. How good your titles are. Are they optimized in terms of SEO, or do you have a bunch of random words in there, or just a title which is good for Facebook? Or how good is your description? Did you include any types of Google Merchant Center programs, reviews, etc.? Or have you not put in any effort into that? These are all things which make up a solid part of your foundation. So this means you need to start approaching your ad strategy with the foundation in mind first. You need to start from there and slowly work your way up. Once you have the product foundation in place, everything's strong there, then the next part of winning with Google Ads in 2024 has to do with your ad strategy. And you want to have a system to consistently test different products. You want to have a system to consistently profit from those products doing well and get a lot of profitable revenue. You want to be pumping a lot of budgets up. You want to be increasing them. You want to be decreasing restrictions, so on and so forth. So instead of the nitty-gritty details, focus on the broad level system. And the best way to approach this is with the TPS strategy, which is the testing, profitability, scaling strategy. And the way it works is fairly simple. You want to have an approach where you have certain campaigns and a certain budget allocated just towards testing. Normally, we like to test with about 60% of the total budget. And the campaigns you use for testing, it's entirely up to you. All you need to really be doing is segregating out your products properly with the 60% budget so that every single collection or so that every single product with a different break-even ROAS or a break-even CPA that is similar to each other get tested similarly. The rest of the budget, it could be 30% or 40% for scaling and profitability. That system alone should have its own set of campaigns with its own set of segmented strategies and so on and so forth. This TPS strategy lets you kind of choose a very broad approach and then segment out based on how the product is performing. Once you have a good system in place, once you have budget allocated properly for testing versus scaling, then the next goal that you should have is to keep these results consistent and also scale them at the same time. What we like to do is we like to go in every 5 days to every 14 days, depending on the daily budget spend of that account. And then we like to see what needs optimization. If something actually needs optimization, if there's certain products that are overspending, if there are certain campaigns that are not hitting KPIs, etc. And once you pinpoint what's going wrong, then you optimize based off of that. And optimization should not just be the front end ads level. It should also be the back end. So normally what we like to do is we like to look into the data of each campaign, look at what the campaigns are ranking for, like keywords, certain products, if there are certain competitors coming up, and we like to optimize around these. So one of the best strategies we take is whatever keywords we're getting sales for, we use those keywords to make our product titles better. We use those to make our descriptions and our data attribution within the product feed better. We also focus on making our ads better based on the data we're getting in. So if we notice certain keywords that we're consistently getting sales for, then not only will we optimize the back end, but the actual ad copies, we will add those keywords in and try to make those better. It's all a system which kind of feeds us data back. We use that data to make the ads better, and then from that, the system feeds us even more data. So it's like we're running around in circles, but every single time the circle is getting bigger and bigger and bigger because we're optimizing, we're making things better, and so on and so forth. But in addition, you want to be optimizing things on your other ad platforms like Facebook, TikTok, and also your backend like SMS, email, using certain words in your descriptions that directly resonate with the audience, so on and so forth, because this is what optimization is about. And it's almost difficult not to scale your e-commerce brand. But again, if you're doing $40,000 or more per month in revenue, you need just a little bit of extra help scaling your brand to the next level. Go on to my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me to see how we can potentially work together and make that happen. But I want you to check out this video right here on my newest product testing strategy for 2024, which when you combine it with this kind of system approach, it's hard not to win with Google Ads.